Good day, I'm John from Henricus Historical Park, and we are going to answer a question. It was asked of the interpreters, what would the colonists and the Powhatanians do when hurricanes or storms would have come in? So I'm going to lead in with the idea that the English, first of all, don't even have their own word for hurricanes. It's kind of foreign to them. The idea of a hurricane and water and ocean really is going to be brought to them by those that travel the oceans, starting with Columbus and the Spaniards, who are going to use a word that they borrow from the native people of the Caribbean. Huracan or huracano is the word they use, and the English traveling the oceans would also get familiar with this idea of these ocean storms. But I would be grateful if I was a colonist arriving here on this dock, passing through the storms on the ocean. So we're going to eventually go and see how we would live through a hurricane if it came on landfall, because I'm not a mariner. So what they did on the oceans is another story. All right, so we're up here at the plantation. So now we're at the question point of what would the colonists do if a hurricane struck with their farm and their animals and all the things that they possess? Well, probably again, they are going to pray a lot. And after prayer, they're probably going to make sure that the structures that they have are sound. The thatch roof is well in place. The shingling that we put on the side, the clabbering that we have, might be weak in the storm. So we really aren't too familiar with hurricanes as English people, so we're just kind of going with it. However, the case is, do we need milk and bread and eggs? Well, here on a plantation, we have our milk. Right. We have our milk, we have our chicken house over there, so we have plenty of eggs, and certainly we have our bread oven over there. We don't have to go out to the store, and we have plenty of beer. As long as we have beer, we're going to keep hydrated. So is the way of the English. We batten it down and we stick it out.
Hi, my name is Corey. I'm an expert on the Powhatan chiefdom. It's been asked, what would they do in the event of a hurricane? Well, first of all, they'd have to figure out if one was coming. So one way of doing that might be to observe weather patterns. Being that they had lived here for centuries, if not millennia, they'd be pretty familiar with the local weather patterns. They might notice the wind blowing in from a different direction, or clouds doing something strange. Or even a local priest called a Kriokasak might have a premonitious vision or dream to warning of this bad weather. You see, you have to understand, these people lived in a world that was inhabited not only by people and animals, but also various deities and spirit beings called Manitus. And these Manitus might be part of what's causing this hurricane. So one way of reacting might be to actually make an offering of certain valuables to these water Manitus that might be causing the issue. So we could take valuable things like shell beads, copper, or maybe tobacco, and offer them to the water. That's what the Powhatan would have done 400 years ago. Better safe than sorry. The Powhatan also dealt with the threat of hurricanes by using good building science for the region. Remember, they've been here for thousands of years, so their traditional house is, yes, it's a lightweight structure, but it's also aerodynamic. So with this domed roof and rounded footprint, the air will be able to get around it in the event of high winds. However, a severe hurricane, you probably are going to see some damage. So what's important to understand is that these people didn't really expect their houses to last a lifetime the way we do today. The frame might last 8 to 15 years, and the coverings maybe 3 before they need to be replaced. Luckily, the timing for harvesting the cattails, which is what's used to cover the house, coincides with the hurricane season. So it'd be like today if your house got damaged in a hurricane and just afterwards, Home Depot and Lowe's were giving away plywood and shingles. So hopefully you've made enough rope to make the repairs.